What's up, Coyotes, and welcome back to a brand new Cmstv.
Today we'll take a drive to K1 Speed,
Look into the history of television,
and bring you an informational skit on bullying.
I'm Ashton.
And I'm Kyle.
And Cmstv starts now.
Hey Coyotes, welcome back to another CMS.
Don't forget, on February 27th is College and Career Day. Students can go to the gym at lunch and learn about a variety of careers. Go check it out. Our first story, we're heading down to the track to take a look at Luke and Tanner's amazing trip to K1 Speed. Take it away, guys.
Hey Coyotes, I'm Luke, and I went to check out K1 Speed, the popular racing place. We talked to an employee to get more information on K1 Speed.
My name is Jacob. I've been working here for 3 years. I started in April of 2014. I am a supervisor here at K1 Speed Carlsbad. What I do here at K1 Speed is I call up races, I set up races, I let in the racers, I brief the racers, and I prepare them for the race. And as soon as I prepare them for the race goes out, and then I keep doing what I do.
K1 Speed is also very different from other racing places.
What's different about K1 from other centers is that this is battery run. All the carts are battery run. It's safer for the environment, safer for the racers. All the carts are top of the line. Also too is we provide helmets, head socks. I believe kids would want to come to K1 Speed because these carts go up to 45 miles an hour. As soon as you reach the end of the track, you're at 45 miles an hour, and even in the middle of the straightaway. Also too, and we haven't really got this out to the public yet, but we are starting glow karting. We'll turn off all the lights, the track will be glowing, the carts will be glowing, and that's something that's, not yet out in the public yet.
I hope you guys get to check out K1 Speed sometime. Thanks for watching, Coyotes. Now back to the anchors.
Wow, I love going to K1 Speed. I actually placed third one time. Don't forget about Rubio's fundraiser night. It'll take place on Friday, March 10th from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. Come out and support our school. Next, our friend Sam is taking us on a trip back in time to the history of the television. Take it away, Sam.
Hey Coyotes, are you into nostalgia? Well, if you are, this is for you. Today, we're going to be going over the history of television. The first television came out at around 1930. Then, when people realized that maybe 2-inch TVs weren't big enough, they made larger TVs. Then, later in the 1960s, the first color TV came out. And over time, the TVs got bigger and bigger. In about 1990, they realized that the TVs were too thick, and people hated that. So they made flat-screen TVs. And now we are where we are today. Thanks for watching, Coyotes. Now back to the anchors.
It's amazing to see how far TV has come. Don't forget, candygrams are available up until February 14th. See Mr. Griffin for details. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Mr. Satilli's bottle rockets. Here's Donovan with the story.
Coyotes, Donovan here with an inside look on the 8th grade science lab, bottle rockets.
Hi, my name is Devin. My rocket name was Frozone. It was a nose cone. The difference between my rocket and my team's rocket was nose cone versus fluorescent tube. Its total time was 10.51 and its peak time was predicted 4.91.
The Bottle Rocket Project is a design challenge where students get to design a water bottle rocket like these for maximum time in the air. So in the Bottle Rocket Project itself, students learn to apply science and engineering practices to a project, and they also learn about the physics of flight and Newton's laws of motion, and they apply those to make an optimum design. Well, tips and tricks with making the rocket, I would say keep it as light as possible. Newton's second law relates force, mass, and acceleration, and the lower the mass, the greater the resulting acceleration from an applied force. And craftsmanship elements, keeping the rocket as straight as possible to try to minimize the effects of air resistance as the rocket goes skyward.
After the student shot the bottle rocket, they took a class photo and calculated the time of the best rocket shoot, and it was Ryan's rocket. Now, here's a slow motion shoot of a bottle rocket. Thanks for watching, Coyotes. Now back to the anchors.
Wow, they went so high. The Chick-fil-A Spirit fundraiser will be held on Thursday, February 16th from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. Come out and show off your spirit, Coyotes. Next up, we have Andrew telling us how historically music came to be. Take it away, Andrew.
Hey Coyotes, this is Andrew. Have you ever wondered how people first started making music? Well, today, I'm going to tell you exactly that. Let's get right into it. The first actual song ever created is currently unknown, but archaeologists recently discovered that cavemen may have very well been the first musicians in history. An approximately 40,000-year-old bone flute was found when archaeologists were examining a section of the German Swabian cave system. But even earlier in the past, simple percussion instruments such as rattles, stampers, and various different types of drums were known to be the first kinds of devices external to the human body that are considered instruments. Later on in history, instruments were known to have a variety of purposes. Unlike today, they were used not primarily for entertainment, but for very important announcements. For example, drums were used at important religious ceremonies, and a trumpet would traditionally be used to signal the end of a successful hunt. During around the year 2800 BCE, musical instruments began to appear on Mesopotamian artifacts. As seen on several of these artifacts, the variety of instruments definitely increased since the earlier stages of human evolution. As time passed, new types of instruments were created by more and more cultures around the world. In the 11th century BCE, the first monarchy in Israel produced the first professional musicians. Since the musical movement was becoming much more widespread than in the past, certain cultures were either ahead or behind in terms of how important music was to them. But in 384 AD, the idea of sharing different styles of music was born. During this time, China established an orchestra after a conquest with Turkestan. Because of the orchestra, other countries continued this idea of multicultural music. During the 9th century, instruments were first used for military purposes. The first instrument known to be used for military purposes was the bagpipe. Later, as the Renaissance time period began, new innovative changes to music were already being made. In the early 15th century, instruments began to accompany singing and dancing. During the late 16th century, orchestration became more of a common practice as a method of writing music for a variety of instruments. Beginning in the 17th century, the emotional style of music became more popular. This was where the idea of incorporating singing into songs with other instruments being played at the same time was born. Of course, this was a major influence to today's music genres. Starting in the 20th century, the evolution of traditional musical instruments slowed down by a lot. This happened since more upbeat styles of music were being created, and electronic instruments were introduced into the musical world. Today's music, although influenced by a lot of the classical music styles created in the past, is largely based on electronic instruments. In fact, some genres of music that exist nowadays can be entirely created from just a PC or a laptop. So, I hope that you enjoyed learning about how today's music came to be. Thanks for watching, Coyotes. Now back to the anchors.
Wow, that was very interesting. Don't forget to grab yourself an Ozark Pop today at lunch. All proceeds go towards supporting CHMS. Now we have Minnie and Skylar's presidential parody. Take it away, guys.
When the snow flurries swirl and we're all filled with cheer, it's time to celebrate my favorite holiday of the year. You know which one I'm talking about. President's Day! It's President's Day. It's time to reflect on those wonderful men that we elect. Abraham Lincoln and George Washington, Thomas Jefferson and Alec Baldwin. Celebrate Oscar de la Hoya. Fought off the British so they would not annoy ya. Raise the flag, the stars and stripes. Our 41st president, Wesley Snipes. Charles Nelson Riley won the war with the help of his mighty.
Before we go, here's a skit about bullying.
Hope you have a great weekend, Coyotes.
See ya!
Your shirt is stupid!
Oh my gosh!
Sorry, teacher. Ellis is bullying Tony over there.
Here.
Day 2.
You see this? You got me this. It's all your fault.
Hey, no bullying.
sure to send candygrams to your friends. Happy early Valentine's Day.